Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here. For Pat on Your Back, personal fitness themes. Theme of the year. As we're going to revisit tonight, our theme words for 2022. If you've been with us back earlier this year, it was mid-January, maybe into February, we decided on some theme words for the year. And I thought with us talking a few weeks ago about it being halftime, going into the second half, Andrea and Chico, good evening. Welcome in. It's a great time to maybe, now that we're kind of a month into that second half, let's look back to our theme words that we had for 2022 and just really refocus on them, remind ourselves of them maybe if we haven't been as maybe diligent with them, or maybe aren't reminded of them as much as we need to be to stay on track. Let's remind ourselves of them. Let's refocus on them to really get that good, strong finish into 2022, and also to build that momentum heading into 2023, which is coming very soon. And if you've been with us again, you know that since it's August, come probably October, we're going to start thinking ahead to 2023 and our goals / resolutions for that time. We don't look at January 1st of planning the resolutions. We plan leading up to January 1st. So we've already got that good momentum going and have some plans and some systems in place to give us a higher recipe for success or higher odds for success going in. So I thought it was a great time to revisit our theme words. Now, if you weren't with us then, or you're new to this, by all means, feel free to think of a theme word for the rest of your 2022. Maybe there has been a theme for you that you've been living out in 2022. You just maybe haven't verbalized it or categorized it. Maybe now you can. And the idea being is when you have sort of a theme word or even a mantra to the year, that you make decisions that coincide with that theme, or maybe it helps you say yes to certain things and maybe no to some other things that don't just don't align with what it is you're looking to accomplish. So for me, my theme word for 2022 was action. I decided I need to take some action. I'm a big kind of an overthinker of things and trying to get things a certain way. And should I or shouldn't I start this or do this or do whatever? And I decided this year was the year of action. That was going to be my theme word to try to remind myself of that. So I've set some alarms on my phone that go off each day and remind me. I found a song with action in it. So as the alarm goes off, I hear a couple of beats kick in, and then action starts with the words, pretty much action there. And that's kind of that reminder of me to stay focused. And the initial idea of action for me was with my business, starting online coaching, on-demand fitness classes, which I'm still doing and in the process of finalizing for the fall. But action also turned into me using it in my other job, in my full-time job that I'm doing now at a grocery store. I started part-time in the pandemic. My manager decided to leave, and I applied for his position back in January and took on the position. So there's been some action I've taken in that role as well. And it wasn't anything I was really thinking of when I decided on that theme word, but I've tried to apply it to that as well. So I've used that reminder and that alarm and that alert, again, both for the business of my own business, but also for my workplace, and to remind me to maybe stay in action and to stay focused and to try to keep things going at a certain way so that I can make some changes to the department I'm in. Hey, Caitlin, I can maybe try to grow the department some more and add some things to it, or evolve the department a little bit more based on some things that have been done in the past, some steps we put in place. So I was able to apply that same theme word to my full-time job and my business, my entrepreneurship. And I'm trying to really gear up now and refocus and really almost dial up the intensity of the action to my entrepreneurship, so I can, again, finish the year with a bit of momentum, having some, again, online coaching systems set up, having the on-demand fitness, which some of you have done in the past. Speaking, hey, Bonnie, well, good evening. Bonnie was part of the original launch of the on-demand fitness. Natty, good evening. Welcome in. Uh, yeah, we'll chat later tonight. We're going to relaunch that on a new platform once we get everything organized, and we're going to have the on-demand coaching launch. I want to do a slope fit, so kind of a ski and snowboard conditioning program for people, and a few bit different things heading into the fall and into the holidays as I transition from outdoor classes, which I have another round of Sunrise Strong coming up in September. So anyone in the Barrie area, you can hit me in a DM for details on that. But then as winter comes and approaches, we need to have inside opportunities. And I want to make sure that it's Flame the DJ. Good evening. Welcome in. Good to see you. I want to make sure I have the options set up so that people can, maybe as we're coming out of summer vacations, get set up on their online coaching and or on-demand fitness classes so they can keep their healthy lifestyle going and maybe hopefully use my services to help them welcome that sort of lifestyle into their existing lifestyle. So maybe they can make the time for some fitness and lifestyle and healthy living with some guidance from me. Again, wanting to have that. So now I'm trying to refocus on my action. I've got the action kind of in place at work. I've got some of the changes implemented that I wanted to. Now I'm really trying to dial in things here. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, you notice we're still in the light background. Still a few changes here in the home office, the home studio. We switched locations in the house, so just trying to get things situated where we need to and where they work best. And then hopefully that'll lead to some things happening up. So again, action on that, focusing on getting that set up, getting some content created for you guys to see and to share with your friends and people that may be interested in some online coaching or some on-demand fitness classes. And then having that launch so people will, again, be willing to sign up, be ready to sign up and see the difference that these programs can make for them. That's where I'm really going to dial in my focus for the next few months. So what I want you to think about, and again, if you've been with me as a regular viewer, you were probably here for that. I know some of you in the chat were here for our theme word night. If you're not, that's okay. And it's August. We still got a few months left in 2022. Maybe think back to the year that has been so far. Was there kind of a central theme to your year as far as maybe your work, personal experiences, professional experiences, different hobbies or things that you took on? Was there a theme to it? And if not, maybe for the next few months, you could set a theme. And again, by now, if you don't have one, you could probably set it up to lead into 2023. So you can, again, kind of build that momentum, and maybe your theme word leads into a bit of a goal or resolution that we'll talk about again in probably October-ish, not January 1st, but in October, we'll start looking at 2023 and our resolutions. So maybe now is the time to get that ship kind of steered and on course to lead you towards that. Maybe you start the momentum now for 2023, which is perfectly fine. Part of that could be finishing 2022 off strong and maybe declaring a theme word and following that. And I see a couple of you, mostly Natty, but a couple of you forgot their theme words. So what I'm going to do is go back and find the episode where we discussed it and talked about it, because some of you declared theme words within the chat that evening. And I'm going to repost it as a bit of a replay, probably Thursday. I'm not 100% sure yet. I got to find it and get it set up. But I'm looking to maybe do Thursdays, kind of a bonus episode of PatFacts, but a replay of the theme words that we talked about. And then that way, if you were here again, you can maybe refresh and we can discuss a little bit more, and you can see maybe what your theme words were if you've forgotten, like some of us have in the chat. And then again, we can really reset and dial that in moving forward to, again, finish off the year nice and strong. We're in the second half of 2022. Remember, we talked about that halftime, using some time to recharge, look over the game plan, make any adjustments that we need to, and then come out of the gate strong. So that's where we should be now, coming out of that gate strong. And I thought again, this would be a great time to look at those theme words and really refocus them and help us with that strong start to 2022. Because maybe, like some people have, maybe we forget our theme words. Maybe we're not sure what our theme was. Maybe we've been knocked off course a bit from maybe getting COVID or some of the restrictions that were still in place earlier this year. Maybe just life happens. Things come up that maybe have knocked us off our track a little bit. Now's the time to refocus, not beat ourselves up, but to refocus, rethink of that theme word, and think of ways to have it present to remind you. So I mentioned with me, it's on my phone. My phone's there, that's why I'm pointing this way, as an alarm. I searched in Apple Music. I found a song with action in it. It timed up with my theme word. So I set an alarm for a couple times a day. I'm going to actually up it to multiple times a day. So again, I get reminders when I'm here at home in the home office working on things. But again, it's that reminder, that reminder of action. That's the word I want to use. Maybe you do that because you can, on your phone, typically label your alarms. So the alarm says action, plus the song has an action theme to it. So you just that reminder, that kind of cue that, and so that way, if the phone's in my pocket, if I'm at work, or if it's charging somewhere, I hear the song first. Then when I pick it up, I see the action in that alarm label, and it's kind of a double reminder for me. So again, you can usually, it could be like the reggae song. Mine's the Black Eyed Peas version of action, but maybe that's an option for you, Naz, if that's better. Your reggae song, your reggae version, depends the action you're looking for, I guess, or willing to take. So we're going to think of ways to be mindful. So maybe it's something like a lot of people, for reminders, will put a wristband on or an elastic band around their wrist and associate that to something. And then that's the reminder, that visual cue. So when you see that band, you remember, oh, my theme word is consistency or patience or kindness or determination, whatever your word is. Maybe you try to tie that to the band. It doesn't have to be one with writing on it. Again, maybe just an elastic band or a hair tie or something, if you have those, and then you just see it as that visual cue, that reminder. People used to tie a string on their finger to remind them to get something on the way home from work, that kind of visual cue. Same idea. Chico says, and he needs a shock band for a reminder. Maybe I can get you one. With these bands, as I mentioned them before, this is from our pal Todd Durkin. It says, get your mind right on it. And wow, was a book he wrote. Word of the week turned into a collection of those words of the week and the theme. So he released the Wow book. This came with this, but he has these, and if I can get this from here, another band that has impact on it. So it's an acronym that Todd uses and lives by to go through, and he makes impact bands. And I've got it somewhere I can see it, and I won't come off to show you. There it goes. Live video, folks. You never know what's going to happen. So this is the other band he has. It says Impact and has his gym and website and things inside, but he makes it quite thick like this. The idea is, being with that or this, that if you get off kilter or maybe forget your theme word or need that shock band, like Chico says, you can give yourself a little flick, and you feel that little ping of the elastic hit you, like Natty says, elastics hurt like heck, though. So you give me that little sting, that little reminder. So Todd uses it as a cue to keep positive mindset. If he gets into a negative mindset, he says what he calls snap the band, and that little touch, that little shock, that little flick of the band kind of helps shake him out of it and reminds him to stay positive. So you could do something like that, where you have that little cue of maybe that visual touch or that kind of receptor almost to keep you on track. Or again, even just the visual cue of having the band on your wrist could be a reminder of your action word if you associate it with that word. Storm into Fitness, good evening. Thanks for joining us. For some people, again, the alarms on the phone work great. It gives you the cue, gives you the music maybe if you want, or even just any song, any alarm chime that won't drive you crazy. And then again, maybe you see the theme word on the screen when you go to turn the alarm off. You can label the alarm with it. Some people, maybe we go the more traditional way, the pen and paper way, Post-it notes. Think of your theme word, put it on some Post-it notes, and put it in places where you'll see it a lot. Bathroom mirror, maybe the fridge, maybe somewhere in your car, maybe on your computer screen, places where you'll see it and be reminded of it. And again, the more we see it, the more we're reminded of it, the more we're aware of it, we're conscious of it, we're more likely to make decisions that align with it. If we know we want to be in action and want to move towards a certain goal, then we'll make decisions that'll help us keep on track and keep working towards that, because we get that sort of visual cue. I like that. Nanny says a merch idea, PatFacts bands. That could be. I did go to Kempenfest. It's a kind of the long weekend festival here in Barrie. That was first time back for a couple of years, and I did make the McLaren Arts Center was up, and I did make a pat on your back personal fitness button, Positivity Pandemic, and have the handle there. So I did make those. So we're starting that as we go. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks, Chris, from the 3 Not So Wise Men show I used to be a part of before. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks, Natty. Thanks, Andrea, for the button. Yeah, it was a free thing that the McLaren Arts Center had. So for kids and the grown-ups to just make a button, and they had the machine right there for you. So I did a couple. This one was a little too close to the edge, so you can't really see it when it folds around. But I thought it's just a little something I could throw on once in a while, just to have a little extra branding and get into the merch idea, I guess. Patrific, I like that, Chris. Patrick, I didn't even notice that the first time. Patrific, I'm going to use that, I think, Chris. I like that. Bonnie says, post a note on your forehead, Bonnie, or a band to flick yourself in the forehead. Yeah, post a note on your forehead. Just make sure, if you're going to use a post-it note on your forehead, remember to write backwards, so that when you look in the mirror, you'll see what it is. Otherwise, the words will be backwards, and it might confuse yourself. But that's a great idea. Yeah, Natty says I have 1,000 post-it notes that I don't read. Maybe time to go through some of those and thin some out a little bit, and pick a few that you can, we'll see, and make them personalized to you. So maybe get out some Sharpies, some markers, or I know some of you are into stickers and crafty people. Some of you, again, we've talked about painting and being artistic during the pandemic, different things they've been doing. Maybe those are things you can apply to that to make it more colorful, make it stand out a little bit more, make it more you, so that way you're more likely to read it and notice it. So maybe if you do have 1,000 post-it notes around, like Natty does, and a lot of people are like that, if they use post-it notes are everywhere, then maybe you need to make your theme word post-it note stand out a little bit. And then you'll see that and it'll stand out for you. Or maybe you create a specific spot for it so it does stand out, so you see it more. Again, on the computer screen, you see it as you're looking at it. On the keyboard, maybe as you're typing, you see it there. Again, the bathroom mirror, it's there. Usually there's not too many there, unless you maybe have some reminders or some to-do lists or something. But again, as you're there brushing your teeth or getting ready in the morning, or even before bed, to keep you in that mindset and that thought and mentality of whatever it is your theme word is, for this year and going forward. Schedule, yes, for sure, Chico. Schedule in your calendar, for sure. A great tip, you could put it in your calendar of your phone. So and then again, you can set up an alert so that if you had it in your phone calendar, it would pop up to remind you to be in that mindset, for sure. Or again, if you're more of a pen and paper type of person, then again, maybe you write it in your agenda, but put it in daily to look at. So as you're reviewing your list of things to do or your appointments for the day, you see that theme word. Or maybe at the top of the day, where the date is, you write in your theme word. Maybe you have a couple of themes that you're working toward, and maybe you can spread them out or alternate them through the day or through the days as they go through. But definitely, yeah, you could totally put it in your calendar, either electronic or, again, pen and paper, if that's your style. Then again, you can get in there with being crafty, like Natty says, and have things kind of decorated or made or again, personalized, so it's more you. I made this not to take them to market and to sell a bunch, but to just have a personal touch and to have something that I can maybe throw on. Again, if I'm out somewhere or doing something like this, I have the video, have a bit of a branding on. I don't have a lot of merch to wear when I'm out teaching classes or presenting, things like that. So I just thought it was a simple way to have my social media handle and my business name, my positivity pandemic sort of hashtag, kind of all there in one spot so people could see. So if I'm wearing kind of a golf shirt like this, I could throw the button on and again, have a little bit of promo there, which never hurts anybody, I don't think. Chico says that was his idea for the day. You can take the rest of the day off, Chico. That was your good idea. I appreciate it. I appreciate you shared it with me and everybody else here. But yeah, just take the rest of the day off. Take it easy. Get your rest for tomorrow's idea. And I like this, Natty. I know you're kind of maybe being silly, but Nat says, I'm going to put her theme word on her toothbrush. Why not? A little piece of masking tape, write the theme word on it, or just, again, get one of your Sharpies out, right on the handle of the toothbrush. Don't put it on the part that you brush your teeth with, because then you'll drink the ink and stuff. That won't be good for you. But on the handle of it, then as it's laying there, you're getting your toothpaste on it, or you take it out of the holder, maybe you see the action, your theme word. Mine is action. Maybe your theme word does show up there where it gives you that reminder. Maybe you've got a cup in the bathroom with a little, for rinsing with mouthwash or something. Maybe you can put a little label on that to show your theme word, to remind you. Maybe your favorite water bottle. Yeah, maybe it has some space where you can put your theme word along the side or up here along the top. Again, so it gives you those reminders as you see it. Think of things that you do frequently during the day. Hopefully you're drinking lots of water. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth. Maybe your hairbrush. Maybe a hairbrush has a bigger handle. Again, you could put that handle on there and have that reminder. So when you get up and brush your hair in the morning, again, that theme word is there for you to remember. And again, that sets you up through the day to see it. And then maybe at night, if you're, again, getting ready for bed, clean up a little bit, those reminders are there. So hopefully we can take that mindset as we get into a sleep kind of mode. And then again, just have sort of a subconscious thought, have it there in our brains, even as we're sleeping, so we can process it a little bit and have that mentality and have it there when we're at kind of a restful state and we're not trying to think of 14 other things. Maybe that's a good reminder before we go to bed. Get that little visual cue, that little reminder, maybe as you're meditating, or if you are doing a self-guided, maybe your theme word is part of your meditation. Brendan Burchard does a release meditation where he takes deep breaths and says release, release, release over and over again to help release the tension, release the stress, release the thoughts in his mind. Maybe your form of meditation is some slow breathing and repeating your theme word or words or a mantra that means something to you. Maybe it's a couple of different things. Again, there's no one way or right way to do this. It's whatever way works best for you. And it will take some time, again, trial and error, like we like to talk about here, to find the way that works best for you. But it starts with the very first step. Pick that theme word and then think of what you do during the day. What do you do a lot of? Where are you a lot of the day? Are you spending a lot of your time in front of the computer? If you're having more of an admin-heavy position. A couple of you said you like the water bottle idea, having that word next to on the side of your water bottle. Do you need a elastic band or something on your wrist to remind you of what it is you're doing? I've used this type of cue with clients who I'm trying to get them to work one arm at a time, say, and they can never remember, which arm did I start with? Which arm should I be on this time? Or the last set we did, we started on the left arm. This time I want you to start on the right arm. Okay, but when you're not here, how do I remember that? Okay, we'll take an elastic and put it on your hand. That's your first hand. And then switch it when you go to the next set. And then when you come back, or your next round, then when you come back for round 2, okay, the band's here, so I start here this time, and then I switch it back. There's different ways that you can use that visual cue as well to help you through just different reminders. And again, things that'll simplify and keep you on track and take some of the mental stress off of you for certain things that we have a lot on our brains, a lot to try to keep track of. If we can simplify things a little bit or create a process, which in theory is what a smartphone is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a tool for us to make things easier for us, to make things more efficient. We can access email when we need to. We can access social media or this or that, or our files maybe from the office, to make things easier for us. It turned into a bit of a distraction and for some something that it's a detriment, but it was supposed to be a tool to help us be more efficient and lead better lives and help us with a lot of tasks that we have to do. So use that same mentality to remind yourself of your theme words. Make things very simple for you. Give yourself those cues and set yourself up for that success as much as you can. Let's see here. I see a couple of good. And so Andrea says, get a sticker or a label and put it on my giant jug of water for sure. Then you've got it. I know some of we have them at work, and I've seen other versions of it. They look like a water cooler bottle, but they're about 1 liter with a handle, and along the side of it, they have different cues, like start of your day, good morning, great stuff, whatever. And then as the day goes on, it kind of cues you to where you should be with your water. And it kind of, again, gives you that visual representation. So you can look at the bottle and go, oh, I'm still at have a great day. I'm in the morning and I should be further along. So it gives you that reminder to go. So again, a sticker or a label, again, you can make the label up yourself, create it how you want to, or again, have a couple things that you can maybe transfer from bottle to bottle. I know some places you can go and make your own mugs and things like that. Maybe something like that could be a fun project you do to get maybe be a little creative, get some art out there, but again, make it kind of useful for you beyond that as well. Again, Natty likes the water bottle idea. Have a saying for every cup you drink that relates to your theme word. That's great too. Yeah, have a few different sayings and expressions that you can see as you take the drink of coffee or water or whatever it is that have that expression on them. Again, some cups now you can get stuff along the inside of the cup. So as you drink, you can see that little message on the inside. There's different ways to get things printed up and made. So lots of different options on it. And like this, Chico, again, idea number 2, he's taking a vacation after this, a water bottle that has a chalkboard or a whiteboard on it. Yeah, a great idea too. We don't have water bottles, but we have the pitchers that work with the spout with a little chalkboard on them. So you could write in like what the drink is or a fun message or something on that. So same sort of idea. Yeah, having that little white chalkboard or whiteboard. The only thing you'd probably have to be careful with is condensation might erase it off. So whereas tape and a marker, you can maybe have a little bit more permanency to it, or you could maybe place it again along the top. So then again, it doesn't get so wet from the condensation and things that a water bottle might have. But yeah, that would be great too. A whiteboard or a chalkboard on them. I've seen a video by Sharpie where they take one of the tin water bottles, the insulated ones with the screw top kind of thing, and the person took Sharpies and painted it and decorated it and did different things with it. Maybe that's something you could do as well, where maybe you write some of your theme words or mantras on the bottle. So again, it's there as you see it, as you drink it, as you put it on the counter to fill for the next day. Again, it's always there to remind you. Definitely take tomorrow off, Chico, for sure. You deserve it. That's right for. Yeah, so Andrea's got the big water bottles we talked about earlier with all the sayings along the side to, again, give you that kind of guidance and that coaching. It's almost like coaching on the bottle to help you stay on track to see where you are with your water intake and where you should be throughout the day. Yeah, Chico and Nads, you're definitely killing with the ideas. Yeah, Natty, I don't know if you remember I sent you a picture of a cat mug that we have at work. And on the inside, it has a saying. There's a cat one and a dog one and a plant one, and it has the little expressions on the inside of the cup, just kind of right along the edge. So as you take that sip, you see that message. So be a cool way to have a little message on the inside as maybe you're sipping your coffee or having a drink of water out of your mug. Have that reminder, that mantra, that theme word in there for you to remind you of what it is you're working towards as your day goes on. Bonnie says she likes the idea with the bottles. Helps you get your water intake as well, definitely. So again, we're not really into calling it multitasking here because people usually struggle with multitasking, but we're into kind of making the most of our time. So if we can have our reminders on our water bottle to keep us focused and going through the day, and that helps us get our water intake because we're seeing that or seeing the messages along the water bottle. Again, 2 birds, 1 stone. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds in that. We're talking so much about water, I get thirsty. I gotta have a little drink. Natty says, I would have ink all over me. I am a toddler. I can't, I don't see an argument to that, Natty, but that's part of the fun. It's okay. So yeah, be careful of that. Using what you're using for it would probably be a permanent marker. Make sure it's not a dry erase or a water soluble. Again, like we said with the dry erase kind of board, the whiteboard on the water bottle, great idea, great concept. But again, the condensation could lead to some halfway through your day, your theme word might have disappeared from the water running down the side of the bottle. That's a good reminder. You could have booze sometimes. That nice as reminder. Water. Nah, it's not booze. You could do booze sometimes, but mostly water. But even still, having some fun, enjoying yourself with a little drink, still getting those reminders. That would be a great tip, a great way again to keep that mindset going. So we want to be able to enjoy ourselves and have our fun, but we don't always want to check out of what our goal is or what our end result is. And if we can have that sort of reminder, even if we're having a little cocktail or a little fun, what a great way to enjoy ourselves, but still stay on track with what it is we're working towards. I think that's a great way to do it. So again, don't be too worried about being strict and by the book, or only thinking of your theme word when it's 9 to 5, or when you're working out, or when you're working on something. Try to keep that theme word in your mind throughout the day, throughout the evening, when you're on your free time, when you're spending your weekends away camping. Keep that theme word in mind. So again, you can make those good decisions. And when you come back to it, you can, when you come back to work or back to your workout routine, or when you get back to the office the next week, you're still kept yourself into that mindset. And then you don't have to struggle to get back into that mindset or use that theme. Kind of like exercise, you say if you don't use it, you lose it. If you take the weekend off and don't really think of your theme, you've got a little bit more of an uphill battle to climb, maybe Monday morning, to get back into that mindset, back into that routine. Maybe you're setting yourself up for a little bit of failure, or at least difficulty. Whereas if we can stay consistent with it every day, then again, we'll make better choices. When we're on our free time, maybe we'll have a bit of booze rather than overindulge, because we're keeping our theme word in mind. So that again, when we get back to Monday, we're not hungover, we're not dehydrated, we're not feeling bad from what we had, or we're not trying to get back out of that hole and back into that routine. We keep the routine going, and that can have multiple benefits. So again, what I'd like you to do, if you remember your theme word, or if you've thought of a theme word, I'd love to see it here in the chat from you. If you don't remember, again, if you're with us before, I'm going to look for the video, the PatFacts episode, and do a repost of it. I'm going to try for that for Thursday. We'll try Thursday at 6. If it's different, I'll do a post and try to let you know when it's going to be airing. Same thing, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We'll all have the rebroadcast of that. Again, those of you checking in, you should know because I mentioned it, but it'll say replay, hopefully in the description to make it a little more clear. So if I'm not acknowledging you in the chats or on the video, that could be why. So we'll keep that in mind, and we'll broadcast it. We'll try for Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If it changes, again, I'll do some posts and make sure you're aware of when that's going to be on, so you can review it. And we talked a little more about theme words and deciding on them and how to kind of make them work for you. And again, remember, it could be mantras even. It doesn't just have to be a word. It could be a mantra that you like that will help you, again, align with your 2022. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're just picking one now, it could be one that maybe you're thinking ahead a little bit into 2023. And what do I want to accomplish the rest of this year, but also next year? What do I want? Where do I want to see myself at the end of next year? And then maybe that can tie into your theme word for the rest of this year, and then picking one for the next year. Or again, maybe you have one at 6 for maybe the rest of this year and next. It doesn't have to be a year. It's just something I've learned from other coaches. It's something I'm trying to implement. Just have a little bit more focus to my year and my goals that I've set up for myself. So, but again, there's no one way to do this. It's whatever sort of works for you. If you're not sure, I've had people, I think in the first episode, we talked about theme words earlier this year. Someone mentioned they had a few words and they weren't sure which one to pick. I think it was our friend Gretchen. And the words that she had kind of went together, could be made into a sentence. And I think I was able to put them into a bit of a phrase or a mantra, so she could use them all. She didn't have to pick one. You could put them into a bit of a phrase, or maybe have a work specific theme and a home life specific theme. Maybe there's a couple different ones that, again, that reset could be looking at that theme word. Maybe you get home from work, you have the alarm set to go off on your phone, or as you come in the door, maybe that theme word pops up to remind you, okay, I left this place. This theme word at work was, say, action. Maybe my theme word at home with my family is presence. Okay, now I have presence. Presence, I see that on the door, or my alarm goes off to remind me to be present, to get into that mindset as I get home. So again, there's a lot of different ways to approach this and to use it. So think of areas that you want to get better in, what your goals are, and try to think of a theme word or mantra that go with those. I'd love to hear from you in the chats, whether it's here live or on the recording, of what your theme word for the rest of this year is going to be. If you're with us back in January or February and remember your theme word, have you been sticking with it? Have you been able to implement it and follow it? And has it helped you shape your year thus far? And if you forget it, that's okay. Again, we'll post the reminders, or you can maybe just reset and think of, where are you now? What do I need to do going forward? Again, a couple of you have had some had life happen and it's kind of knocked you off course a little bit. That's okay. That's what life does. Now's the time, once you're through everything, once you've recovered, once you're back, reset, and start now. Maybe use your time that you're on the injured list right now to plan how to come out of it. So if you're dealing with a sickness, if you're, again, have a unexpected life event come up that's kind of derailed you a little bit, try to use this off time to plan how to come out of it and how to be better for the rest of the year. Make use of the time. Don't get down, or don't get frustrated, or don't say, when this is over, I'll start. The best time to start is right now. So take the time. Think of the theme word. Remember if you can. If not, again, just think of a new one maybe. Plan what do I need to do between now and December 31st to have this year finish strong and build my momentum heading into 2023. And use the time, make use of the downtime. Remember, we did that when COVID started. We were home, we had nothing to do, we couldn't see people. We made use of the time. We started watching things like this. We started new hobbies. We started taking better care of ourselves. We started being active. We started reading more. Make use of the time. It's not as big of a chunk of time, but make use of that time and be positive. And that'll help you heal better, because you're in a positive, motivated, inspired mindset where you're trying to ascend till the end. You're trying to get a little bit better and come back stronger and better. That'll help your body and your mind heal, because you've got that good energy going through you. You've got direction, you've got purpose, and that can really help us stay motivated and stay focused on what it is we're trying to do and recover from or deal with and get through to the other side. And maybe it's a little bit of a distraction from whatever it is we're dealing with, and that too is very helpful for us. Yes, Natty was there, but we forget. But that's okay. We all forget sometimes. It's okay. We'll try to find it for you and see. I think you changed yours a couple times within the video, if I remember right, Nats, and maybe even after. I think you messaged me to say it was a little different again. So, but we'll take a look and see. Andrea says, I'm so knocked off course, but I'm starting with the oodles of water moving forward. Perfect. Great stuff, Andrea. One thing at a time. Pick one thing to improve, get better at it, make that a routine, make that kind of a habit, and then go on to the next thing. And drinking oodles of water will probably help you feel a little better, more energized and refreshed, so that when you're ready to get into that activity again, you're back, you're ready for it, and you're already drinking the water, so your body and cells will recover themselves in your mind after those workouts. So great stuff, Andrea. Let's keep in touch. Let me know how the water's going, and when you get into that next step, that next phase of what it is you're doing. Yes, positivity pandemic. We want to keep that going and make use of that. Yes, definitely, Nat. I think you did, Nats, and that's fine. That was part of it too. We change our minds. We think of different things, and again, just in speaking here within the 45 minutes that we're approaching here, different ideas come up. We talk through things sometimes, whether it's me talking or you guys through the chat. Sometimes you guys come up with things. Sometimes when I'm talking with you guys and leading you through something, I'll have these big ideas or epiphanies or realizations in the middle of a PatFacts, Or like, oh, that's why that thing happened to me back when I was whatever 16. Or I've had moments like that where as I'm trying to kind of teach and guide and coach, that I have my own realizations of things and understand that, oh, that happened to me so that I could do this right now, and different things like that. So a theme word is going to be different, something you play around with. Maybe you brainstorm, and it might not be the first thing you come up with. You might come up with a few, maybe you pick a few. Maybe you brainstorm your theme words, and then you pick the one that makes the most sense. Or again, like I believe it was Gretchen's case, maybe you put them all together, make a mantra or a phrase out of it. Or maybe you decide to have specific theme words for specific areas of your life, work, personal, financial, whatever the case is. Maybe you have different theme words to help you stay on track. So again, don't feel like it's just a one and done. Take your time with it. Give yourself some time. Maybe tonight, after we're done here, we're going to wrap up soon. Brainstorm, think of some theme words if you're not sure what yours was. Maybe yours was good up until now, but maybe you need to change it from now until December. Again, I mentioned mine. I'm going to keep mine, but I'm going to shift my focus now. My full-time job has kind of seen the result of it. Now I want to really shift it to my entrepreneurship, to my businesses, to get those going and to really ramp that up, to get that where I really want it to be, and really wanted it to be by now. I'm a little behind in my schedule, to be honest, and I want to bring that up to par and get things caught up. And definitely a great point here. It looks, Natty says it can also evolve, for sure. So maybe your theme word was fitting back in January, February. Maybe you've evolved and now it doesn't fit anymore. Maybe you've gone past that, or your goals have changed, or again, you've accomplished what you set out before and you're onto something else, or maybe it just wasn't quite right to align with where you were going. It's evolved. We all change and evolve and get different. So we also want to be aware of that. And when we talk about our monthly check-ins and things we talked about last week, again, maybe that's a good time as well to check in on that theme word. Does this make sense? Does this fit with me and what it is I'm trying to accomplish? Maybe you need to change it up. Maybe on your yearly goal, as you reverse engineer, maybe you set different themes for different parts of the year. Maybe in the winter, if you're a homebody and don't like to be out much, and maybe you need a different theme word to keep you motivated and inspired. If you're maybe in the summer more out there and active and being around people, maybe a different theme word will get you through and help you stay on track. There's a different way to keep those moving forward, and again, making it helpful for you. Thanks, Andrea. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Good luck with the water goal. Keep it up, and let's say keep in touch. Let me know how things are going with the goal and with the next step adding in. And yeah, Nadia, you might be right. Evolve might have ended up being your word, actually. I think now that you mentioned it, that could be what you decided on, or one of the options you had there. For sure, I think you're right. There, see, we talk it out sometimes, and we figure it out. Thanks so much, Bonnie. Appreciate you being here, as always. So again, gang, if you don't have a theme word, it's okay. Think of that word, get it set up. Think of one to go through, or again, evolve what you had before. Natty says good luck to Andrea. Yeah, I love the support we have for each other here on our communities as well. And again, I love using StreamYard. We can get all our communities together. We have Instagram Live here as well on the phone, so they're there. They don't get to see the chat quite as much, unfortunately, but we all are all still together. So again, take some time tonight. If you don't have a theme word, it's okay. Brainstorm a few different ideas. Think about your goals. Tie a theme word into that if you think it'll work for you. Pick one. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Keep yourself going. And then share it with the group if you don't mind. And then let's try to really focus on that theme word. Think of ways to remind ourselves for it and what we can do to keep us on track. And again, to really finish the year off a strong word. Evening came in, welcome in. Chris says, I found myself more on track during the heart of the lockdown, for sure, when you were forced into routine, definitely. And what we want, so many people found that because there was maybe nothing else to do, and we needed that routine to maybe help keep us sane and active and feeling okay about ourselves. But now what we need to do is, as the lockdown ends, I think for most of us, it's pretty much over, or at least greatly reduced. There could be some restrictions here and there, depending where you are. But what we need to do is keep those routines in, but modify them. We won't have 8 hours a day, maybe at home every day, to do what it is we've been doing. but now maybe we modify it, we tweak it a little bit, maybe we adjust, maybe we can't work out 3 times a week for an hour each day. Maybe it needs to be 20 minutes a day, 6 days a week, or a few days a week, or maybe we can't watch as many Twitch streams as we used to. Maybe we need to pick and choose some of them. Maybe we pick the ones that help educate us, help guide us, and then help us have a bit of fun as well, and pick and choose a few of them. But maybe we have that time together with our online community or with your family. The goal is to modify, and we talked about this, trying to modify what it is you had set up so that you could keep it, you could hold on to some of those good things that we had, and not just go back to the rat race way of life that we were pre-pandemic. We want to hang on to some of these good practices we put in place, because we're going to be better for it, and everyone around us is going to be too. And that includes our theme words. Definitely operationally fit. I want to see that. Definitely, Chris. Yes, dancing during Scratch's shows, definitely part of the routine. Definitely good part of routine, good music, good fun and dancing around, and a great way to lift our spirits and help us feel good about ourselves. And again, distract ourselves from all the junk that's on out there right now. And again, a theme word can do that for you. It can maybe snap you out of that rut that maybe you're in. If you've heard about depressing news, or you're at work where people like to gossip or complain all the time, having that alarm go off, that theme word show up for you, that reminder on your wrist or wherever it needs to be, maybe it's on your locker at work or at the gym. Those reminders can keep you in that mindset and maybe snap you out of some of those places we get stuck into, get that darker places, those heavy places. It can bring you back into that positivity pandemic. So thank you for your theme words. Again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Share with us, whether you're here, DM me. If you're tuning in next week, great to hear from you as well. Again, stay tuned for a bonus episode, a replay of our theme words episode coming up. We're going to try for Thursday at 6. If not, I'll post an update about that. But stay tuned for that bonus episode where I'll try to be in the chat with you guys as we're broadcasting as best I can. So again, guys, keep your self-care ramped up, even though we're somewhere in this journey of COVID and things going on. Regardless, even if the pandemic wasn't here, we always need to ramp up our self-care and really take good care of ourselves, make our health number one. So let's keep that up. Do what you need to do. Let's set up those theme words. Let's hit into the second half of 2022. Let's come out of the gate strong. Let's really drive the ball at them. Let's really run up the score. Let's really give ourselves a good swing of momentum heading into the end of this year, as we start in a couple of months to practice and tune in and to gear up for 2023. And remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Stay safe, gang. Have a great night.